computer's blown up. It is 2:45 a.m. Friday the 12th of December. It is day 198 of Project X. This is probably going to be a pretty short video, not that anyone's going, oh gosh darn it. Yeah, most of what I want to talk about isn't stuff to do with like my actual life and what's going on in there, because I feel like there's not much point of saying about that kind of stuff, because it's like it only really makes sense to me, and I understand that, as I've been saying, that this is for me, and like a mentally kind of how would I say, like reflection and like holding myself accountable and stuff like that, and that's fine. And like when I normally talk about what is actually going on, that's like a really good way to do it. But I just kind of want to try and keep it on more generic, like what I'm doing to try and improve and what I'm thinking in terms of like the bigger picture rather than day to day. But yeah, at the moment, kind of what I've mostly been thinking about is I don't want to take my foot off the gas. So I had my CDR hand in, and I've been doing a lot of work and really focused with that kind of stuff. And I'm not, to be fair, I've still, done some work and been fairly focused since that has been handed in. But I can feel myself like just easing off and like just letting, I finished it so I can do this, giving myself those excuses to do all these other things like drinking. And I think a big part of it is that I'm going back home, so I do want to see my friends and say bye to everyone, but I will be back up. So I think tomorrow is my last proper day at uni. I've got a lab at 1, so that's an opportunity for me to get good at waking up, because I've still not been very good about that. But I'm not just going to whine about that for however long. That's just something I need to focus on, and as much as I can say that I'm focusing on it, I need to actually try and focus and think about it and put systems in place and all this kind of stuff. And I have been, I don't watch stuff when I go to sleep anymore. I read my book, sleep with headphones, all that kind of stuff. So I am trying. I think I just need to keep trying harder and putting different things in place, trying stuff, see what works. But yeah, tomorrow is a good opportunity to do some work and stuff. So I need to do some stuff around the house and some life admin and things like that, but also need to make sure that I get some work done no matter what. I think I'm going to try and set myself a goal of every single day over Christmas. Doesn't matter whether I do a shit ton, whether I do a little bit, minimum, do some work. And I've not been using my notebook, and I really want to try and do that as well. That'd be great that's like a secondary. It'd be great if I could do that every single day as well, but I think the most important one is to work every single day. I'm going to try and get myself into a really good routine when I go home. So it's Friday technically today because it's in the morning, like 2 a.m. But obviously when I wake up, this will be my last full day, so I need to pack and stuff like that, and then I'm back home. And then seeing family on the Saturday, and then back home on the Sunday, and I want to get myself into like a really good routine and stuff like that, in terms of like as quick as I can, in terms of work, in terms of the gym, in terms of like work as in like for money work, not university work, and yeah, so I'm going to try and be as efficient as I can about setting up that structure and getting straight into it, and say things are slightly slower. Like I've already started sorting out like my work when I'm back home, and have been for a while, stayed in contact with them, but say that's slow getting started, then I need to focus on, like, I control it as much as I can, but focus on all the stuff that I can control, so doing more university work instead and things like that. And as I said, I need to not take my foot off the gas, because it's so easy to do. I see. But yeah, okay, I locked in again for a little bit when I really needed to, and it felt good because it was what I needed to do, and I finally managed to do it, and it wasn't fun, but I did it. Yeah, cool. But I'm not the smartest person on the planet now, all of a sudden. I can't think like that. I can't be like, okay, cool, great, I've done that. I've not done that. I did a little bit. And I don't just want to keep going in a cycle where I feel like I've done this before. I worked really hard, got locked in, got in a great routine up until I finished my exams in first year, and I managed to lock back in and save it. But then I just switched off, and it's like, yeah, okay, great, but I want to make it a more conscious, disciplined change to my lifestyle, not a small change for a period of time. I'm not trying to, like, I'm thinking about it a bit like when people say they're going on a diet. So yes, like, okay, say bulking, cutting, whatever, that's like a diet change. Like, that's like you're going on a diet. I'm bulking because it has a finite end. You're going to do that up to a point and then change and cut. But when people need to make an actual, just for their health, or maybe not for like a specific gym thing, for their health, like a lifestyle change, but they say they're going on a diet, like say someone's, you know, really, really fat, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go on a diet to lose it. That makes it seem like that has an end. Like, oh, I'm going to get really, really low calories, and yeah, that's great, but you manage that for a couple of weeks, lose a ton of weight, but then you finish your diet, and it's like, oh, I finished the month-long challenge, and it all goes straight back on, because you go straight back to what it was, because I need to be the person who I want to be every single day, because as soon as I stop and like let myself not be that person, I go right back to the one who is, as in lazy and all of those things that I was saying. Like, it's like a, you know, a bit of a battle, and like giving into what I like want straight away instead of what I know is good for me. And like, I don't know, there's a balance there. I want to enjoy my life, but there's that it's in a different sense. You know, sometimes it's easy to think that those two things might not be able to coincide. Like, I might not be able to be super disciplined and also enjoy my life, but you know, when I am, I feel as though I have more time. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm really busy, but I think I've done really well in getting rid of my social media and things like that. I feel like I have a bunch more time because I'm not constantly, you know, on my phone, losing hours and things like that, and I think that's great. Like, good job me, but I'm not done yet. Like, that's, yeah, okay, I did a good thing, but I'm not finished. I need to keep going. And but yeah, I get happier when I'm doing well, and I'm locked in, and I'm disciplined, and all this kind of stuff, and I feel as though that I'm a person that I can trust, and it makes me feel as though other people can trust me. You know, if I'm really disciplined with my wake up schedule, and I'm really disciplined with when I'm going to the gym, when I'm doing work and all this kind of stuff, I'm happier, and I'm more myself, I'm more bubbly, and so I want that. And it's not something that doesn't coincide with me enjoying my life. It coincides. It's me putting in the work to enjoy myself. And okay, yeah, maybe the way in which I'm enjoying myself changes, but I think it's more like wonderful when it's the right way. So, you know, when I'm not doing too well, or, you know, I'm not doing all these things that I should be doing, you know, the way in which I end up enjoying myself is like stupid. It's like you're just getting fucked up, or like, you know, that kind of stuff, which, you know, is still fun, but like, it's not constructive or purposeful, or, you know, anything like that. Whereas a lot of the time when I'm feeling really good, there's, you know, ways in which I'm enjoying myself is like going for a walk with friends, or like having a chat with them, or like doing things with them. And like, yeah, okay, it could also be going for a drink with them, but like, I don't feel the need to get absolutely bladdered for no reason. Like, I don't know, I think I need to focus on the fact that it is, those things coincide, and so me working towards all this discipline and stuff like this isn't me working away from a life in which I enjoy myself and have fun with friends. It's me working towards a better life where I'm more happy and get to do that stuff more, which is something that I've been realising recently, because for a long time it felt as though the more I worked towards that, the more I leaned away from seeing my friends and all this kind of stuff, which is true to an extent. I can't see them as much as, you know, I might have done, but the times that I do see them are better and happier, and I feel happier, and it seems more constructive. I don't know. But then I could be wrong. Hey, fuck it, you know, I could be completely wrong. It might be that I get really disciplined and I go, fuck, I have no friends, and I was wrong, but I want to find out, and I want to find out the proper way. I don't want someone online to tell me, oh no, I did it. I want to know what happens when I do it. I don't know whether sorry, I could just hear something. I don't know whether you guys could hear that. It sounded either like drunk people just like screaming on the street or people fucking. I have no idea which one it was, but if it was people fucking, that must have been the greatest sex they have ever had. There's no way that's people fucking. That's got to be just people getting drunk and shouting and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, back on topic. Yeah, I want to be great, and I believe that me being great is worth the sacrifices that I am making. I struggled with that for a while, but the sacrifices like being, completely like destructive to the kind of life that I wanted to lead. But I'm starting to realise that although the sacrifices might seem one way initially, they actually are constructive to the type of life that I want to lead, I think. So we'll find out. And I think if I can be the person I want to be, I'll be a happier person. And it's not like, there's a goal. I'm not going to, well, there is a goal, obviously, but and I'll probably maybe do this next video or something. I was thinking like, I wonder where I'm going to be in a year, 2 years time, 3 years time, blah blah blah. And I think it'd be cool if I made a video like saying where I kind of feel like I'm at the moment, where I want to be at, and where I think I'm going to be at in a year's time, and then do that in a year and like put the videos side by side or whatever, or chain them together. I don't know, maybe I would have figured out how to edit by then, but I think that would be cool. But I did have a good point that brewed in my head for just a second there, but I can't bring it back into my mind. I think it's coincide live. Yeah, there's a goal, like there's a person I want to become. It's not like I have an image of a person, or like, it's a type of thing. Like I want to be a very disciplined person. I want to be strong morals. I want to be someone people can rely on. I want to be able to rely on myself. Blah 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 blah. Things I've said, but it's not like I can achieve that, and I don't want to be able to achieve that. Or, well, at least I'm telling myself I don't want to be able to achieve that. I desperately want to be able to achieve that, but I know that achieving that would then leave me hollow and empty. First of all, I wouldn't have put the groundwork in, so I wouldn't appreciate it. But second of all, you always want to be striving, you know what I mean? Like, when I become someone who's very disciplined with my wake-up schedule, I don't want to then go, oh my god, this is it, I'm in Valhalla. That's, but like, I've achieved it. Like, wow, great. I can take my foot all the way off the gas and just coast. I'm the guy now. I'm that guy. I'm the guy. Who do you think you are? I am. Bowling knowledge required. But I always want to be striving so that I can be improving and kind of on this constant path, because I do think that's a serious part of life. That there's no finish line. Keep improving, and it might not be it's also everyone can be like this. It's the fantastic Mr. Fox. This guy's the fucking dog's bollocks. He doesn't stop. He keeps going. What a legend. But I think it's for yourself, because when I get depressed and feel shit and go into a black hole up here, it's when I stop reaching, stop striving, stop giving a fuck. Is when I feel like that. And so, for my own self, why, I'm going to be here till I die, why not keep going for something or other? Even if I've achieved this or achieved that, great. Next thing, okay, great, you did it. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Don't spend forever jacking yourself off, because you fall into that pit of it's the same as when you fail. You can do the same thing when you achieve as when you fail. When you fail, it's so easy to fall into a pit of pity and, oh, everyone look at how hurt I am, and, all this kind of stuff. And, okay, yeah, I know that sucks, but you got to keep going, you got to move on, you got to keep striving, you got to keep moving. And it's the same thing when you succeed. it's not over. There's no finish line. Keep going, keep going. You did great. You did such a good job, but you got to keep going. You got to turn around, go straight back into hell. You know what I mean? And I feel in some ways as though that's almost harder than getting back up from failure, because you know you need to get back up, but sometimes it's hard to know that you need to keep going. And I really want to make a conscious effort to keep that in mind over this Christmas break. Yes, I achieved. Okay, I got a coursework result back, which was very good recently, and it coincided with me handing in my CDR for the grid project, so I was like, oh, university completed it, mate. And I feel as though I've taken my foot off the gas a little bit because of that, but I haven't completed shit. So I got to keep going, and I want to keep going, and I feel better when I do keep going, so let's keep striving. Same with the gym. There's a certain physique I want to attain. I'm sure when I get there, hopefully, I'll still be striving for something else in a healthy way, not in like a body dysmorphia kind of way, although that's natural for everyone. Everyone gets it, but hell yeah, man. Kind of excited to keep striving now. Kind of talk myself into it, so slightly off the gas, but not dead yet.